Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another episode of the Real Housewives of Potomac. Okay, so this also to me was kind of blasé, and let's see if I can keep myself awake while I'm talking about it. It starts off with Giselle is having some type of dance class with her daughter. I don't know for what they have this class for. I don't know if her daughter is in dance and Giselle decided to join in, or if I don't know. And she talks to her daughter about the whole thing with, I think she talked to her daughter about, I don't know, I think they did talk about, Jamal and the reconciliation. And, her daughter just was really uncomfortable with it all. I'm beginning to wonder if the reason why the girls are so uncomfortable with their parents getting back together is because maybe they don't have a relationship with their dad. Maybe they're not that close with their dad, and that's why they're not that crazy about him coming back. I'm beginning to wonder because from what I hear, in Giselle's famous words, her famous quote, word on the curb is that Jamal was very busy womanizing to the point where I'm wondering if he had time for his kids. And he lived in another state, I think. So maybe the girls are just so uncomfortable with this because they're not close with their dad. I don't know. I'm not understanding why the girls are struggling with this. Because if they enjoy their dad and they enjoy their mom, and I understand that they probably in the back of their heads are like, well, I hope that dad isn't going to hurt mom again and we have to go through this all over again. I'm thinking, can't that be resolved by the parents or Giselle even sitting down with the girls and saying, mommy and daddy, we had our issues, but we're in a much better place now. And, we're not going to repeat history, and we're just going to work really hard to keep everything positive and to keep everything loving and, to treat each other well, because y'all are our number one priority. We don't want to see y'all hurt, so we're not going to hurt each other because that's going to hurt y'all, or whatever it is that you got to say to these girls to make them comfortable. Because if the situation is really about they don't really like the reconciliation because they don't want their mom to get hurt, their dad must have been a low down dirty dog to the point where the girls just are not understanding why Giselle is going back to him. And I'm pretty sure they probably looked up a lot of stuff on the internet, or stuff was being sent to them. I don't know. I'm just trying to understand, even if they were having, the parents were having their issues, Jamal was womanizing and all this and that. If they had a good enough relationship with their dad, and they were close to their dad, and they had a positive relationship with their dad, wouldn't they still be happy with their parents reconciling? I'm kind of wondering if they're just not that close to their dad, especially when in the previous episode, they were talking about how dad only talks to us to get closer to you. Like he uses his daughters to get back with Giselle, which would tell me that they don't really have a relationship. Because why would your children think that, oh, you're only talking to us and you're only, making an effort with us because you want to get back with mom. You're just using us to get back with mom. Like, why in the world would children think that way about their dad, unless their dad really was not that close to them? And they know it's like, well, you never called us before. You never tried to spend time with us before. Now all of a sudden you're calling and wanting to spend time because you're just trying to get back with mom. So I'm beginning to think that these girls are really not that close with Jamal, that they did not have that close relationship with their dad. And that's why when Herman came into the picture, they were so excited about Herman, because they probably are craving that father figure relationship, and they were not getting it from Jamal at all. And so, when Herman was there, they were so happy, and they're kind of bummed to see him go, because they probably are not used to having a dad around. I don't know. I don't follow nobody on social media, so if there's pictures of Jamal and his daughters from day one, of him spending a whole bunch of time with his girls, and I'm wrong. But it seems like they're not that close, and that's why they don't want their mom to go back with him. I don't think it's really about the affair, because those are adult things, and if the mom is willing to forgive and move on and go back with him after all he did to her, I would think that the girls would also be too, unless they're just not that cool with their dad. And so I don't know. So then Cal, which is Giselle's stylist, he comes over to see her, and he's a very interesting fella. He had a lot of good advice to give her, because Giselle was telling Cal how her daughters are struggling with the reconciliation. And Cal gave her some damn good advice, I feel like. He tells Giselle that you and Jamal have to lead with love. And Cal he knew Jamal way before. Cal knew Jamal before he knew Giselle. And so he knows them both pretty well. And he just gave her some really good advice about how, and he told her that you need to look at things from your daughter's perspective, not just from your own perspective. You need to really understand where your daughters are coming from, which again makes me think that the girls are not that close with Jamal. And that's why it's important for her to look at things through her children's perspective, because maybe Jamal is like a stranger to them. And that's why they're not warming up to him so much. I don't know. And so, yeah, so that was that scene. Now, I hope that Giselle and Jamal are not doing this for some BS. I hope they're not doing this, because they want to be on the show, or they're trying for ratings, or for clicks and views, or what. I hope they are genuinely trying to get back together, because your children's lives are like being completely exposed. They're so vulnerable right now. This is a very delicate situation, and the only way to prove to your girls that it was a good idea to reconcile with their dad is for Giselle and Jamal to stay together and not do this make up to break up to make up to break up stuff and put these children up and down on this roller coaster. So I hope they're serious about reconciling, and that no matter what, because now you have to stay together, because your girls were just fine when y'all were not together. Now you're putting them through this emotional roller coaster with the reconciliation. You can't put them through more heartache by separating again, especially if they do get close to their dad and they do get used to y'all being together, and then y'all break up again over some nonsense because he can't keep it in his pants, or because you got mad at him or whatever. I just hope that this is the real deal, Holyfield, and that you do whatever it takes to stay together for the sake of these girls, because this is just craziness. Karen and what's her husband's name again? Ray. Okay, they're having some serious issues, because every time there's a scene with Karen and Ray, it's very tense, it's very awkward, it's very painful to watch. I think that Ray really was like looking forward to chilling out, relaxing, retiring, taking it easy with his wife. I think that's what he really wanted. He really wanted, like Karen said, he was really looking forward to retiring in Florida, getting some beachfront property or something, and just chilling and just relaxing. It seems like he worked really hard to get to where he's at, and now he just really wants to enjoy, the last few remaining, however many decades he's got left. And Karen is on the go. She doesn't have time for that. She's on the go. She's starting her career, her business, La Dame Perfume, and Lord knows what else she's going to be getting into. And so, poor Ray. He just wants his wife to sit down somewhere next to him, and she's not gonna do that. Poor Ray. He was really looking forward to retiring with Karen, and I'm thinking that's what the issue is. That's what I'm thinking the issue is. And you know what, maybe he thought Karen was also going to be off the show. Maybe he thought that she was going to stop everything, the show, no more businesses, just I don't know what he thought, but poor man, he's so lost in the sauce. Karen is planning her homecoming party, to Potomac, returning back to Potomac. So she hires a singing telegram guy who's going to sing the invitation to everybody. And so they're practicing, or whatever they're doing. They're recording the singing invitation, and then she sends it off to all the girls. And whatever. So she's inviting everybody to her homecoming. Wendy and Robin meet for a play date. And they bring their boys with them. And while they're there, Wendy tells Robin that Candace was kind of giving her the lowdown on all the girls, and kind of giving her a synopsis of how everybody is, so Wendy would know what to expect. Candace told Wendy that Giselle is kind of like the leader of the pack, and she refers to Giselle as Giselle the monster. She's really dominant. and she controls everything. And, she calls her Giselle the monster. So, Robin did what Robin does. She quickly relayed that to Giselle. And so that's starting up, or adding fuel to the fire. That is the beef between Giselle and Candace. Because on Twitter, Candace has said a whole bunch of horrible things about Giselle's home. She flipped a house, and Candace had nothing nice to say about it. She called it a $900,000 cabin. She just said some really awful. I don't understand what Candace's issue is. Maybe they all do it, but Candace is just vicious. Speaking of Candace, she meets with Ashley. Ashley shows up at some restaurant to meet with her. She comes there with her baby. And it was a really nice meeting. So they buried the hatchet. They talked about their issues, whatever their issues were. They apologized to each other. And they both were going to move forward and start fresh and start new. Now, in Candace's confessional, she talks about, she says that, how much the baby looks like Dean. And then she said that it would be a blessing she said Dean would be blessed to look like Ashley. And I thought that was the really nice. That's the nicest thing I've ever heard Candace say about Ashley. I thought that was really sweet of her to say that. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt that they have I really hope that they've buried the hatchet and that they can move forward. Now we're still with Candace, and she has a picnic with her husband, Chris. And they talk about, how her and Ashley resolved everything. And Chris was happy about that. And then they talked about kids. Chris says he's ready to have kids. He's just waiting on her. And she talks about how it took her 30-something years to get to a healthy place with her mom. And so that's one of her fears, is that when she has her own child, that they might go through the same type of struggle, and it'll take them 30 years to get to a healthy place. And that's what she's most afraid of. And all I can say about that is I would hope that, Candace, that you learned from the battle that you were having with your mom, that you learned some very hard lessons when you were going through that. And so you know what not to do. For example, people who are from abused homes will never want to put their children through that same type of abuse. And some people will make a conscious decision to not repeat the mistakes of their parents. And hopefully you are one of those people. The parent-child relationship is very complex, especially the mother-daughter relationship. It's very, very complex. And I'm just hoping that you learned the lessons that you needed to learn so that you don't repeat things with your own kids. So don't use that as an excuse to not have children, because you control that. You have a lot to do with how that's going to turn out. And so just keep in mind, with all the pain and the heartache your mom put you through, and just make a conscious decision not to repeat that with your own child. Robin made a funny comment about Karen's homecoming party. She told Giselle, how are you going to have a homecoming party for a home that you don't even own, that you're only renting? Sometimes I wonder, what is the point of Robin on this show, other than being Giselle's sidekick? What is the point of Robin being on this show? I have nothing against Robin. I like her. But now that she's reconciled, or she's getting married to, to Juan, now what? She doesn't have beef with anybody. She doesn't really do anything. I don't see her, whatever projects or business ventures that she was flipping houses. Now, what happened to that? Is she still flipping houses? It would be nice to see. I'm interested in that, to see, how that's going with her. Is she successful? I need something more from Robin other than, following Giselle everywhere and reporting to Giselle every time. I need something more from her. Moving on. Okay, we are at Monique's house. So, Monique is with her family, putting the kids to bed. And then after the kids go to bed, her and Chris are having wine. And as soon as I saw Chris, I was like, this man is stressed out. It was all over his face. This man is stressed out. I'm going to assume it's the rumors and the accusations of his wife having an affair on him with this trainer. I'm going to assume that that's the issue, because if it's anything else, we don't know about it. He is stressed out. And someone had, I think it was Giselle, because Giselle is the one that's, spilling all the dirt. I think Giselle said that not only is the rumor that Monique is having an affair with this particular trainer, but this trainer has a reputation of sleeping with all of his female clients. So Monique was talking about how she needs Chris to be more romantic and to put more effort into their marriage. And Chris, he said something really, he was like, well, if I'm going to do that, I'm going to need you to, do your duties. And I'm just like, golly, why? Why does it have to be tit for tat? Why does it have to be in your world, Chris? Well, if I'm going to put in the effort to be more romantic, then you need to give me some. What? I mean, y'all have 3 kids. Okay, y'all just had a baby. She's not going to shut that off. That will always be there for y'all. I mean, I don't understand. Are you just not getting it enough? Do you need it 10 times a day? I don't understand. Your wife just had a baby. She was pregnant for 9 months and she just had a baby. So, I don't know. So Monique was like, you need to put more effort into the marriage. And if there's any truth to this affair, which I don't think there is, personally, I don't think that Monique would be stupid enough to cheat on her husband. But if there's any truth to it, I'm beginning to wonder did she have the affair because Chris was, not being attentive, not being romantic, not putting in the work in their marriage? Or did Chris stop putting in the effort when she had the affair? If this is true with the affair, which I don't think it is. So Chris says that, okay, so I'm used to Chris and Monique being very lovey-dovey with each other in past seasons. They seem to have the strongest marriage, the strongest relationship out of all the women on this show. And he's always been, they very affectionate with her. But in this one scene, he just seemed like he was just like he was done. He just seemed like he just really wasn't feeling Monique at all. Like something is really bothering him. And it was written all over his face. His face looked so tense and stressed. And Monique could tell, because Monique was trying to kind of like sugarcoat everything and kind of like, lighten the mood a little bit, because she could tell that her husband was not feeling this scene. Like he didn't want to be there. He didn't want to do this. And I'm wondering if he saw things that made him think that maybe she was doing something inappropriate behind his back. Because you know what? And something else that I've always wondered is, Monique, if you didn't have this affair and nothing happened between you and this trainer, why are you worried about it? Why are you so worried about it? Why are you giving it, which she wasn't. Okay, I have to give her this. Okay, she wasn't the one that brought it up. It was the other girls on the show that brought it up, because Charisse was in the picture now. So she didn't bring it up. But why do you have so much hate for Charisse? If she's lying, then don't worry about it. If it's not true, don't worry about it. And I'm thinking that Monique and Chris have been married long enough where Chris would know his wife and know, what type of woman she, like, he should know that, oh, Monique would never cheat on me. That's just craziness. But, sometimes, where there's smoke, there's fire. I'm just like trying to understand, if it's not true, then why are you stressed about it? Why do you have to leave the room whenever Charisse walks in? If Charisse was spreading these rumors, have a talk with, y'all were friends, right? Oh, and you know what? What's so funny is that I wonder if Charisse started these rumors because her and Monique were friends. Maybe Charisse saw something, or maybe Monique shared something with her that would cause Charisse to go out and say stuff like this. Now, if that's your friend, you shouldn't be, talking about your friend like that to the whole town. But maybe there was something, maybe they had a falling out because of the affair. Maybe Charisse saw, maybe there was an affair and she knew about it because maybe Monique shared it with her or something. And then maybe Charisse was like, girl, you need to stop. You need to stop. You can't do this. And Monique went ahead and did it anyway. And Charisse would probably be like, well, girl, I can't be friends with you. If this is the kind of woman that you are, I can't be friends with you. And then they broke off the friendship. And then Charisse started spreading these rumors about Monique or maybe Monique broke off the friendship because Charisse was probably passing judgment about what she was doing with the trainer. Maybe Monique thought that, I'm going to do my little thing with this trainer and I'm going to tell my girlfriend about it. And we're going to, it's going to be our little secret. And and maybe Charisse was like, girl, you are so dirty and you are so wrong. And then Monique probably got mad, like, why are you being so judgmental, And maybe Monique broke off the friendship because Charisse wasn't down with that. I don't know. I'm beginning to kind of wonder if there's some truth to that affair. I don't know, y'all. We'll have to wait and see. Okay, so then we go to Karen's stupid party. Oh my God. So everybody was like, especially Giselle, was questioning Karen, if this is a party for you and Ray's homecoming, how come in the singing telegram or in the singing invitation, it was just you there? And how come with all the little decorative things at the party, it was just a K? It wasn't an H for Huger. It was just a K for Karen. There was no H's and no R's, just a K for Karen. And I wonder about that. And somebody asked, I think it was Giselle again. I think Giselle had asked Ray, oh, Ray, how come there's no H on whatever piece that was that had a K on it? And, where's the H for Huger? And then Ray says something about, well, where do you think she got the name Huger? That's not answering the question, Ray. Why aren't you included in this party? That's what we want to know. It seems like this is Karen's party. And y'all are supposed to be married. And y'all have been married for 55,000 years. So how come she completely left you out of the planning of this party? That's what we want to know. So Karen comes out in some pink suit with the big old brim hat. And she does that whole little head nodding thing that Beyonce does in the music video Formation. I'm pretty sure they were playing Formation, but because of copyright reasons, we couldn't hear it. The whole thing, it was fun. I don't know what the hell was going on with Karen. I didn't know. I thought she was going to be there with Ray, but Ray he wasn't a part of, I don't know. So, and then Giselle and Candace have words. So they step aside to talk, and I don't remember what the conversation was. I faded out. But basically, Giselle told Candace, I heard that this is what you refer to me as a monster. You refer to me as Giselle the monster. And I take offense to that. And Candace does what Candace always does. Well, I didn't mean any harm. Giselle was like, cut the BS. You meant to be mean. You were mean. And you're not funny. So miss me with the whole, I didn't mean for it to hurt you, blah, blah, blah. That's how Candace does it. She'll say something really awful. And, but I didn't mean for you to take it that way. Girl. But you know what? If they are gonna scrap, Candace is the one to scrap with, because Candace plays real dirty. And I don't know, between Giselle and Candace, I don't know who's gonna come out the victor, because Candace fights super, super dirty. She's got a sharp, sharp tongue. And I hope that Giselle is ready. Because when Candace gets in that fighting mode, ooh, it's scary. So anyway, that's the end of that. I'm really interested in two things. Oh, another thing. When Wendy showed up at Karen's party, Karen did her little rounds of greeting everybody, and she just kind of gave like a really short little greeting to Wendy, and she kept it moving. I want to know what is going on between Wendy and Karen. What is their history? I really want to know that. And I'm beginning to really wonder about Monique and these rumors about this affair, because the look on Chris's face told me that there's something going on there. I'm not exactly sure what. I don't know if he's believing these rumors or what, but there's something going on there. But we shall see. Thanks for joining me, and hopefully you'll come back next week. Bye.